Alright y'all, you're at Twin City Firewood. I'm glad you're here. Been a lot of videos made lately of fabricating, modifying IBC totes to get them to dump in the trailer. This is not one of them. I'm not changing anything to my IBC totes, but I am going to show you how I get a full cord in my dump trailer there and how I flip them over. I think it works pretty well for me, and it might help somebody else out there. Now what's going on is you can dump your first tote real easy. You know, it don't have to do anything special. Flip it over and it dumps out. And what folks are saying is after that it gets to be bothersome. I do it in a way that it's not much trouble, and I'm sure some of y'all out there do it like this too. I don't know, but I'll show you how I do it. You might find it interesting. I sell my firewood in these baskets, loosely thrown in. It's a loose cord is 180 cubic feet, of course. And before I was selling loosely like this, I was selling face cords, or a third of a cord, or a rick around here people call it. And I would cut out the front and I would stack it and heap it over about 8 to 10 inches over, so I'd get a true rick or face cord or a third of a cord. Since then I started doing it loosely, and I'd take my cutouts and wedge them in there, and it works great. I haven't had a single one fall out until I dump it, and of course I'll have to climb into the dump trailer and pull it out. No big deal. Now I do them mostly like this. I don't cut out the fronts. So just so you know what I'm working with here. I forgot to mention, I sell these as a quarter of a cord per basket, and I've checked this several times and stacked it, threw it in, thrown it out, stacked it again, and it makes a nice 4x6 stack. And people seem to be real pleased with it. This is my wood for next year. I know this is green, but it seems to work out okay like that, and my little tractor will pick it up higher because it's a little less wood, and I don't have much trouble getting totes. So this little system works well for me, and I get a whole lot of people want a half of a cord or a rick and a half or something like that, you know. So works really good for me. So if I didn't have a side door to be able to use, I would just take the first tote, put it at the rear of the trailer, and flip it over and dump it. And on my second tote, I would push the wood to the front of the dump trailer. I used to have a 6x12 trailer without a side door, and I would do this pretty regular. It seemed to work well. The only thing about that is it seemed to put pressure on the truck, you know, when you're pushing that wood to the front of the trailer. And I would try to remember to chalk my wheels on my dump trailer, or maybe put my truck in neutral and use the emergency brake, and just seemed to help. But this trailer, the wood slides much easier than my old trailer, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. I know not everybody's going to have a side door on their dump trailer. If any of y'all are in the market looking for one, I love this. It was a $500, I think, add-on feature. I'd do it all over again. It really helps out, not just in this way, but I've used it for other things too. But so there's one tote, so now I can get another tote here in just a second, free of the wood, but I still got two more to do with the quarter cord. So y'all stay with me. So the wood from the first tote's at the front of the trailer, so there's no loose wood here to hinder this one from flipping over or sitting flat so I can get my forks under it. Now on my old trailer, it was 6x12. It was considered a medium duty trailer, and it had a 12 gauge steel floor in it, and the industry standard's a 10 gauge, and that 12 gauge floor just was not heavy enough, thick enough to withstand flipping these totes over. And I know people say that it's hard on your totes flipping them over, but I haven't had to retire a single tote. They just seem to hold up really well. I feel like it just doesn't bother them flipping them over like that. But it sure dented in that 12 gauge floor. I mean, it was banged up, dented in harder than a screen door in a hurricane by the time I sold that trailer, and only had it 2 years. My new trailer here's got a 7 gauge floor, and it doesn't hardly hurt it at all. Only thing is scratching paint off flipping these totes. So of course I'm not using any straps, I'm not using any chains to dump the wood out and shake the wood out loose. But this is something I haven't really seen. I'm not saying nobody has done it, but I just haven't seen it on YouTube. So I'll prop this up, and then I'll close my doors, and it just allows me to dump this third tote fairly easy, and the wood doesn't fall out. You got to jump off your tractor a time or two, but to me it's no more work than putting straps or chains or anything like that. seems to work out really well. And like I said, if you're easy with your totes and just take a little caution, you don't booger up your totes or tear them up, you know. So I'm not knocking the use of straps or chains or dumping totes, nothing like that. This is just what seems to work for me, using what I've already got, and I don't have to modify or adjust every tote that I have in my little firewood operation here, you know. And it just seems to work well for me. I'm sure the dumping and the straps and chains work well for other people, but you know, that's what this YouTube thing is all about. It's just I've just got to where I don't like to watch the news or TV much. It's YouTube for me, because I just want to learn, and maybe this will help somebody. And Lord knows I've got a ton of ideas off of other people's YouTube stuff. So I just thought maybe this would be interesting to some of y'all. I sure appreciate y'all watching. I can't thank you enough. So I still got one more tote, the fourth and final tote to dump. And so what I'm doing is just throwing this wood around and situating it to where I'm going to set that fourth tote on the barn doors or the gate and on that wood right there. So I just need it to be kind of flat, and so it'll prop that that tote up where I can dump it good. So this tote is the trickiest, the last tote, and I just take my time and try to be careful with it. And I especially don't want to scratch my trailer with my fork, so I just make sure I can see good and just kind of ease up under it and flip it over. Requires a little bit of finesse at this point, but it works well, and it's sure better than hand throwing them in, I believe. And on my 6x12, this is a 6x14 trailer here, but on my old trailer it was 6x12, and I could get the same. I could get 4 baskets or a full cord in it. I could actually get a little bit more than that. So it gets a little tricky here. I'm trying to get the bottom of that tote on propped up on the barn doors of my trailer and have it sticking out a little bit where I can get my forks up under them and flip them over a little bit. And I know this ain't for everybody. I'm sure somebody out there probably think I'm silly for doing this, but I just think it works so much better than hand throwing it in. And if I needed to get another tote, a fifth tote in here, I could just hand throw it in or crank my little conveyor up, elevator, and have one of the kids or just load the conveyor, and it could load the trailer. But I can definitely get more wood in here, unstacked, just loose thrown in. So these will fall out here, and it works pretty good. I just kind of shake it around, and towards the end of the video, I'll flatten that little mound out, and that way I can get on down the road. Well, there it is, full cord. The way I do it, it's 4 baskets, and this is a 6x14 dump trailer. I had 4 pieces fall out, 1, 2, 3, and then I had 1 on the side door fall out. Like I said, I know everybody doesn't have a side door that they can do this with, but if you're looking for one, it sure helps. It helps with 1 basket anyway. But whether you do or not, I'm not seeing a lot of people raise them up like that. And I understand if you don't want to, because you don't want to scratch your dump trailer. This one's brand new, I understand that. But and I'm not knocking the other ideas about fabricating your totes. Matter of fact, I think that's fan-freaking-tastic ideas. John at freaking Jeep and Heath over at Hardworking Man, and there's some great ideas, and I may incorporate some of that. But I don't get a lot of big orders, full cords. I do get them, evidently so, but I don't get just a ton. I'm gonna jump up there and just flatten this out and level this out and roll on, get this delivered. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you poke some buttons for me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you be back. I hope you're blessed, and I hope you be a blessing. Thank y'all. See ya. I can't thank y'all enough for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. I'm just completely surprised and blown away, and y'all keep on coming. We'll keep making these little simple videos. It's not going to blow your mind. It's nothing complicated, but I hope you enjoy watching, and I just thank y'all so much for your time. Hope y'all come back. See ya.